right. Hello again. We got round 2 of people saying right to Posley's face that they think he should be terminated. So let's see. I think there's so many interesting. This is what democracy is supposed to be all about, and these board meetings are supposed to be like this all the time. They're just not. So keep that in mind. They're supposed to be like this. So when they are, we're going to take advantage of it. Let's do it.
Professor Gopnik.
Look at Professor Gopnik. There we go. If I was a master of OBS, I'd be somebody different than who I am.
All right, Amanda. Good evening. My name is Amanda McElhone, McIlhone. Tonight I'm here to discuss the gross incompetence that was publicly displayed last week. Let's be real. Anyone working in this district has known about the gross incompetence of this administration for roughly 6 years. What I cannot understand is how you didn't, and in fact rewarded poor achievement year after year after year after year. When I was accused of being sad at work after I literally dropped dead on the floor in January, I was walked out of my job for 9 days.
For being sad?
Unpaid. And I didn't cost the district tens of millions of dollars. So imagine my surprise when this hit the fan last week, and here we have a superintendent smirking at the community, at their frustration and their anger at your gross incompetence and inability to manage this administration.
You do see a lot of smirks at school board meetings up on the
And
dais.
anyone in this finance department is sitting on this stage is gross, a slap in the face to this community, the staff, and most importantly, the babies that we stand in front of every single day.
Wow.
You need to do something tonight.
Wow. And here's what I want to say about that. That is obviously a person who works with pupils, and I want to honor them for that. And I also want to acknowledge that passion there because she said it better than I could. That's how I feel.
But we won't let them use Keith Posey as a scapegoat. All of them need to be held.
Oh, I clearly should have claimed press credentials and sat up in the front. I should have cut, look at all that space up there. That's what those guys got all there for. They reserved our seats and gave them to the press guys. And if these people have as much press credentials as I do for MPS, I'll eat your hat 2 times. All right. Possibly a 3rd time with salt.
I'm here, again, a concerned citizen of the failure, not only of this board, Keith Posey, the head. I don't understand how y'all making closed sessions. It wasn't closed when y'all was asking for our tax dollars. Come on. I'm trying to understand as a board, and especially Keith Posey, because you've been in the system 21 years.
That's right.
You know the malfeasance that's happening, not only with you, but this city in totality. All the bootlickers and the code switchers. Every last one of y'all is getting paid. 8 months.
She said bootlickers and
of
cold
paperwork not
switchers.
being done when you got rid of Aisha Carr.
All right.
We can't go without paying our rent or our mortgage for 8 months.
All right.
Without getting evicted. At the end of the day, anybody who can stand next to you and anybody else that's smiling while our children are suffering. You deserve, not only every last one of y'all need to be fighting.
That's the second person who's commented that says it sounds to me that they say Keith Posey is smirking during all this. Smiling. Say a better word. All right.
Because at the end of the day, our children are failures. And so everybody, every last one of y'all board members who claim you didn't know, you should have known because that's your damn job to know. So in reality, Keith Posey, we shouldn't have to fire you or ask you to leave. You should have been gone.
Dude.
Wow! Due to the fact that this buddy system in Milwaukee of oil you is. At the end of the day, if you really want to know, we want you gone. No more playing games. Say bye-bye to the bad guy in this whole damn board, because all of y'all failed our children.
I can't. All right.
You smirking now, bitch?
All right, that's Jamal Harris right there.
Are you smirking now? Where the people at?
Stay there. How you doing? My name is Erica,
I want they people to speak
and my
out.
last name is spelled Hunt. I showed up today as a concerned parent. I've heard many words like intimidation and accountability be spilled out onto this floor today from both sides. Well, I would like to talk about the accountability of feeding our children, for one, and two, protecting our children in the workplace. Your money is going towards teachers who are seat fillers. And if you don't know what a seat filler is, it's someone who is not qualified for the position, but yet holds that position. And my children in your schools call them bully bosses.
Ooh, that's my favorite right there. Bully bosses.
Bully teachers are holding seats that you are using taxpayers' money to pay for. It's not okay.
I mean, look, we all know of teachers who shouldn't be qualified to be teachers, not just in terms of having a license, but also just because they don't know the subject matter. And people often, there's a great line from Norm MacDonald that all you need to know to be able to teach fourth grade is what a fifth grader knows. And, that's funny and whatnot, but there is such a thing as pedagogy and, didactic learning and so forth. I mean, these aren't just words. There is a science of learning. There's no doubt about that. So, but we're saying, and the only thing I want to add to this is when you say bully bosses, in my experience, there's no doubt there's a connection between the teachers who bully and the teachers who know that they shouldn't really be there. I think she's making that connection too.
Our children are opened up to mental, physical, and sometimes verbal abuse. It's not okay. My daughter stood up for her classmates when she spoke about the bully teacher that agreed and verbally told the children, I will slap the shit out of you. And when she acted on it, the teacher told her to lie, and she told the truth. She started to use intimidating tactics that I see in the workplace of major corporations to identify who told on her.
Right.
And when she identified that my child told on her, she also used the let me pay you method. Let me offer you treats to buy your silence. Well, she knows who her mama is. And her mama taught her one thing, to tell the truth and to take care of others. And that's what I learned from my church.
So there's two comments that's going on there. Number one, in reverse order, people are saying, hey, we support Posley, we're in his church. So I think that's what she's referring back to. And then the other thing she's describing here, many people have seen this. She's describing the teacher told her pupil, could be your daughter, we couldn't say, that the teacher said, according to this person, I will slap the shit out of you. Okay. The pupil then reported this to management. Apparently, the teacher still had a job after that, because the teacher was in a position to conduct her own investigation, retaliatory investigation, to determine who had complained about her. So both of those, that's complete. I mean, not only was she still allowed to teach, she was allowed to conduct a retaliatory interview, and then this parent, or what can we say, parent or guardian, relates that then the teacher who had told the child that she'll threaten to assault this child, wasn't also arrested, by the way. That person then tried to buy off the child, but the child wasn't having it because she was raised correctly according to this mom.
That is also your leadership. We sat in the same congregation and we have worship to the same God.
Oh.
My Lord.
And when we talking about protecting children, that teacher made good on her threat. She slapped the child.
Okay. God darn it. So, when you're in the overflow room or you're watching this on YouTube, you won't have seen this lady's face. There will be 3 dots on the screen, a green light, a yellow light, and a red light that will show the countdown. But for some reason, you can see the timer because that's most important to the audience as opposed to the pathos of the speaker here. So luckily, there's other cameras in here and we're allowed to see this. She's clearly speaking to Superintendent Posley directly. Based on where she's in the room, her eye contact. She's also saying that she goes to the same church as Superintendent Posley. I kind of got that from but you couldn't tell. I mean, there's so much missing. And she's saying that the teacher in the end struck her child. Apparently the teacher still works there. Apparently the teacher's not arrested. We keep going.
I took the process and sent out the emails and everything. No one has called me back.
So she complained
You know
about
what
it.
they did? Instead of calling me back,
What they do?
they begged me from the school.
Yep.
I have 2 other children who failed during COVID, and now they have reached a great level in that school because of their great teachers. But my overachiever is risking her academic achievement because of her teacher. And then instead of correcting the teacher and holding her accountable
I've heard this story 100
for the
times.
intimidation tactics that she used in her class that you asked us not to use in your workplace, whoop, they moved my baby into a higher population class, putting the workload on teachers who just spoke and said we're tired of taking the extra slack. And I think my 2 minutes is up.
Keep going.
Oh, damn. That's hard to watch. That's hard to watch. That's hard to admit that we in the city of Milwaukee allow that to happen.
Cheryl Janisiak.
But that lady ought to be commended for speaking that truth. I think we're going to pause it right here. That was something. Take care, y'all. Hey, you don't notice, by the way, oh, there's Angela Harris. You don't notice, by the way, them conducting a media interview asking who that parent, who the teacher was, and walking that person out of there, conducting I mean, look, teachers are entitled to due process every day. There's no doubt about it. But if a parent comes to the administration with a credible accusation that their child was assaulted by an employee of the district, there needs to be immediate action. And that's the fact. And the fact that the district sometimes it takes action, other times it doesn't. That, I think, ultimately there is what this person is complaining about, and that's what the problem is here. So, stick with us. We'll keep you informed.